this is a political party that people have been desperately wanting for ages. And obviously me and Jeremy announced that we were co-founding this process back in July. And actually it's only been over a month, if we're being honest with ourselves. And the project we are undertaking is huge, it's historic, it's got over 750,000 people already interested. And so that's going to take some time. And I understand the desperation in our communities that people just want to get on with it and start doing stuff. But we need to just get structures and governance and conference right. And you can't really jump the process, and you can't really fast track that. There's no blueprint we're working with either. So it's really important that we have a conference arrangements committee that is gender balanced. It's not just led by MPs. It's regionally and racially diverse. We need to make sure that conference is democratic. That's what we're all desperately wanting. So it has to have one member, one vote. We need to make sure that we've got the technology in place. We need to make sure that we've got a hybrid function to making sure, again, that every person feels like their voice is heard and that democracy is at the heart of this. So you can't fast track that, and that's why it's taken a bit of time.
All births are messy. I've run so many projects, big engineering projects when I was running an arm of government. The first third of any project is actually pulling together what it is and scoping it out. And we've gone from zero and it's out there. Then the next third is pulling the resources together, the people, the governance, all the things Zarah's just spoken about. And then the last third is the delivery. And people look at that bit and think that that's the project. I was talking to a trade union general secretary and he says, well, our conference takes a year. As soon as we've finished, we start the next one. So that it's been a month. It's going to take a while. What we need to do is make sure that we're getting all of the members involved, and that's the key. And that's going to involve electronic platforms. Now, anyone who's dealt with software knows that takes time. Even if you're buying it off someone, it still takes time. And you're going to have to make sure that they have an opportunity to communicate with each other and discuss. This cannot be, do you want option A or do you want option B, coming from a small group of people. So that's the noise, that's the mess that's there. But we will absolutely, I certainly will be pushing as strong as I can, that everything has to be member-led, member-decided, including the election of General Secretary in these sorts of positions.
Well, prior to mine and Jeremy's announcement, it was being done on Zoom chats, and it is now in the open. Obviously, there are things that we're working through, and we're trying to have a bigger, more diverse, more representative conference arrangements committee or working group. But this is definitely more out in the open, and it needs to be more transparent. That is definitely my way of doing things. But there are things that have to be decided that we can't just always be open and constantly talking about publicly. Sometimes it's about getting on with the job. Otherwise, there's constant, there is infighting on the left, and it happens. That's undeniable. But there are some things that we don't always need to discuss. Sometimes it's just getting on with it. But I understand the need to be more transparent, to be more open. But this is more open than it has been for a number of months, if not years.
So I can tell you more from the other perspective, is that you've got groups all over the country of independents who've been organised, people like Majority, and we are out in the open. But the process of convening people, if you're going to have one member, one vote, you need to have someone who's going to chair that, someone who's going to pull it together. What are the options? And my sense of it, and I'm not speaking to everybody involved every minute of every day, is that what is being done is being pushed into the open. It's just there's not a lot being done because you have to set up software systems and things like that.